Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Life of a Boss, the podcast. Today is a special event because it is our Boss Women discussion panel, and we have some boss women in the house today. I first want to say, give a shout out to Jennifer Gibbs, who isn't here. Get well soon. She was definitely supposed to be in the building, but we still have, to my left, my beautiful wife, Suzu Hardin.
Hello.
Registered drug and alcohol technician. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what it says, technician. and to her left, we have Joana, Rudolph, CEO and owner of Altogether Lovely, the athletic brand and lifestyle brand. And today, we basically wanted to touch bases with them because success, there's no two ways to a success. You know, there's no one way to success. There's no two roads that look alike. Mm-hmm. And pretty much we wanted to show that today because we wanted to have these women kind of share their experiences, their role, their passion, their creativity, and basically show you how they came to create and live their own definition of success. And since, like I said, there's no two roads alike, I wanted to inspire everybody to live their own definition of success and to grab inspiration, hints, hacks, whatever these women drop, pick it up, you know. And and like I said, it's all about creating and living your own definition of success. Yes. And this show is all about personal development, and that's how we do it. If you're passionate about what you do and you love what you do, you're going to do it, and you're going to better yourself to do it, and you're going to become better at it. And we wanted to show that it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what you've been through, it doesn't matter the situation you were born into, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what gender you are. You can still succeed. You can still create any reality you want for yourself, and these women are proofs of it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So to my left, immediately, we have Suzu. Suzu, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Well, Jason.
Thank you.
I'm 41 years old. Wow, I don't even know. Where do I start? Like, what?
Well, let's start with what.
I'm about to start.
Okay. Now, how about we start with this?
Ashland, Oregon. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. The reason why you guys are on this show and why I chose to speak with you today is because I think you guys are living your own definition of success. Mm-hmm. But that's from the outside looking in. Okay. I want you guys to tell the audience and me what your definition of success is. Are you living it already, or are you on the way there?
I am on the way there. I am definitely, I won't ever really, it's something I always want to strive for. It's not something I ever want to feel like I achieve, because then that's where I feel like I wouldn't be as ambitious, my motivation would not be there. And it's, I guess for me, really, it's having some freedom. Because in my past, I've definitely felt like I don't have choices, I don't have freedom. And honestly, I feel like that was really just a perception because it was kind of an illusion. Not much actually, like a lot changed, but also nothing changed. It was really just more
you.
Internal.
Yeah,
that changed. And now being able to have a different mindset, a different perspective is like, it's all the difference. And that I get to continually change my perspective. It's not set in one way. It grows and it evolves, and that is really the freedom. Like I want to attain things, you know. I want to be comfortable. I want stability, but that is not at all what success is to me.
What is your definition of success? Since you say you're not there yet, what is there?
I'm always continually trying to be more humble, show more compassion, kindness, acceptance. That's for myself,
Yeah.
first of all, but then it's for everybody else. Because once I can, have respect and acceptance, show myself love and compassion, that's the only way I'm able to give it to anybody else.
Wow. That's
So,
deep. Yeah.
and trying to always grow that and have more of it is the only way I'm able to give more of it. So, and that's it. That's everything else is trivial things you get. Even like knowledge acquired, I'm like, I don't care what I know. Like, it's cool to know things, but if I'm not doing much with it, it doesn't really matter to me. So that would be definitely my definition.
Now I know why you married her.
Oh man, I see why I married her.
Thank you.
She never ceases to surprise me when she speaks. She lives what she's talking about, so she never has to talk about it. Me, I do a whole podcast talking about it, and I struggle doing it. Right. The good habits, the eating well, and all that good stuff. So that's why I appreciate her, because she does it. Like, she doesn't talk about it much. She doesn't even think like it's a talent or anything special. But to me, like, that. You got it. Man, exactly.
I noticed her like confidence. I'm just like, whoa, like I want, like I.
Like I didn't know that was there, huh? Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.
And then she said she can't do this. Like, I don't know how to do this. I can't speak. I don't know. But exactly. Yeah. But one thing that I really appreciate what you said is perspective. I think a lot of people, they think success looks a lot different from being unsuccessful, but they don't realize that from the outside looking in, you really can't tell. Yeah. Someone could be successful and they don't look like they have much. Someone can look like they have everything and he's totally unsuccessful. He's in debt. He's in turmoil. Family's not together. His marriage isn't together. So I think that a lot of people don't understand how internal success is.
Yes.
And how quick just that feeling of, or that mindset changing equals success. Because like, I could be unsuccessful because I'm thinking this way, but after I hear you say something, my whole mindset can change, and now I'm successful. And I haven't even moved yet. I haven't even done anything different yet. But I'm successful now because now I know when I get up, I have a new drive, I have a new direction. And I think that's so important. And I think it's important to express that it's internal more than external, because I think people chase what's external and they never find it because it is external.
Yeah.
Even if they find the components of what they think success is, if it's not in here, you're empty.
Yeah. And it
You're
can
still
be
going to
taken
be
away
chasing.
from you.
Yeah.
It's external factors. Yeah.
I love that answer. Joana, people think you're a success. I do. Your followers think so. You put on this presentation, a very well presentation of success. So to me, you're successful. Are you successful to you?
Yeah, I would say like what she said, is the freedom to do like whatever you love, and I feel like I'm doing exactly what I love. Like, I'm running my business from home. I stay home with my kids, my 6 kids. I'm with them all day. I incorporate. They help me like fill my shipments and stuff. So yeah, and I have like a husband who's like really driven, and as you know, multiple businesses as well. So like, he motivates me, and like, we've been married 20 years. So I just feel like I just feel very blessed, and I feel like I'm already successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You appreciate where you're at.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. And
I
you
feel like we've come a long way. Of course, we have a lot more goals, and we want to reach. But I'm just like happy where I'm at. I'm really happy. Yeah.
Do you think it takes the mindset that you have now to get to where your goals are, to get the I guess that those other accomplishments that you guys have together as a family, as individuals? Does it take this mindset that you have now of appreciation of I'm already a success?
I think that's a big thing, because I'm like a strong believer. Like, I have a lot of faith in God, and I feel like you have to be grateful for what you have. You'll get more. I feel like the more I'm grateful, like, I wake up and I'm like, God, thank you for the sales I'm making today. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And I feel like when I'm grateful, like, God just pours on me. And I'm just like, whoa, it's about being grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and I'm driving this nice car, but what about tomorrow? I might not, So I'm like, be grateful for this car I have now, my house, my roof. Every morning I'm just like, thank you, Lord, that my family's here and that we're together. Because you don't see that often. Like, marriage is like us trying to, we have 10 kids all together, and then trying to build businesses and being married, like all that's like a lot. So, you know, I'm just
10 is a lot. Yeah, with the kids right there. Hold on, that's a lot. Let's back up. Let's back up. 10 kids between you, and you still live a very fulfilled life. You're still out there living your dream, creating. And I think I wanted to touch on that with you because you're a mother. Yeah. You know, the only one on our panel. Even if Jennifer was here, she'd still be the only one on our panel that's a mother. And I wanted to kind of tap into how do you balance entrepreneurship, creativity with a family, and especially a family of 10. So, and I guess I'm not trying to shame anybody, but for you with 1 or 2 kids, I want to show y'all that it's possible to do anything. Because I know some people use, not to shame anybody, but some people use their kids as a cop-out. Yeah. You know, as a kid, I have a kid, now I got to put all this into him. I got to make sure he has, she has. But now you don't have anymore. You're not worried about your dreams, your ambition, your passion. So how do you balance chasing your own passion with chasing the success as a family also?
Yeah. My kids are actually my motivation. I want them to see me fulfilling my dreams. I don't want them to see me like going to a job every day that I hate or complaining every day. You know, I want them to see me happy and fulfilled. So they're like a big motivation. But the thing that keeps me going is my personal development time, my time with God. Every morning, if I don't have it, I feel like I'm a mess, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm a mess. I get up, I do my affirmations, I work out for like 30 minutes, I pray, you know, I do breath works. When I don't do it, I notice like the difference, you know, and I'm just like, I have to have my me time before I go and do everything else. I've learned like my family always comes first. Like, let's say my family's struggling or something, I focus on my family first. Business second for me, you know. But yeah, that's how I do. I think that's how I stay sane. Because some days I'm like, I go crazy, you know. Like some days I'll focus more on my business, but then I'll see like my household kind of like, you know. So then I'm like, no, I gotta get back. So it's just kind of like a balance. I don't know if people say you can balance that. I don't know. I haven't experienced that. I either focus on one thing more or the other. You know. Yeah.
One thing that what you just said kind of triggered in me is like that level of taking care of yourself and self-care. Because like I said, I wanted to put this together because though people have different avenues towards success, I wanted to show people that there are some very similar commonalities between successful people. And as diverse as your lives are, there's a few things that I caught just from what you're saying that you guys do exactly alike. Maybe not the same way, but one thing I can say about Suzu, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that she is into self-care. From what I see, from the outside looking in. And I wanted you guys both to explain, like, just like you said, you have to do you first. To be able to do all this superwoman stuff, you know? And I see Suzu, and she does some superwoman stuff. But that comes after her workout, after her morning routine, after getting up at 4 in the morning, you know? And she gets herself out the way real quick. So that's why I want to say, like, the routines that you guys created, how important are your morning routine, your self-care routines? How important is that in your, I guess, overall happiness and road to success? Suzu?
Well, it simplifies my life. Having a routine, a strong routine, something that doesn't take a lot of thought because it's become really a lifestyle. Now I don't have to think, well, am I going to? Am I not going to? What am I going to eat? You know, because having limited time and having to make a lot of decisions in that limited time, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, I want like 3 choices. Almost everything in life. Like give me 3 choices because more than that, I'm overwhelmed. So keeping that same routine, and then I kind of like, you know, I'll assess, I'll examine, you know, what's working, what's not working, and then I'll tweak it a little bit, you know, to fit, you know, what's going to make me more efficient, but definitely not having to think about things. And that's what the routine does for me. It just makes me frees up some headspace to like focus on other things that do take more time, do take more thought, you know. But that, keeping those strong routines, it's very important, especially with limited time.
One thing that I appreciate with you is like you find peace in your discipline. Like you know, you find like the simplicity of your discipline is why you're disciplined. Like some people struggle with discipline because it seems to make things harder. You have simplified your life by being disciplined. Like, you know, like I'm just going to do this every morning. I don't care how I feel, what I think. I'm just going to get up at 4 a.m. and go straight to the gym. Like when other people dread that, it's like that's your go-to because that's easier.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that perspective because some of us look at these tasks as they're so hard. It's so hard to eat right. Yeah. It's so hard to get up. And for you, it's like, no, it makes my life easier.
Yeah.
That's boss mentality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just like, get up
and I think what you say, success is a lifestyle because it's in everything we do. Yeah. And if we can flip our perspective on things and look at something as the way out instead of something I dread or something I hate and look at it like, oh, that's something that's going to make things easier. Yeah. I think more of us can become successful if we just take that attitude and that perspective and look at things that we hate to do in that way. Yeah. Yeah, so I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And I make things really easy. Like I was just, reading or listening to another podcast, and I do make my environment. They talk about making your environment simple and easier to access. So like, if I'm going to put out my the night before I always put out my workout clothes, have my shoes ready. Everything's ready for my lunch, so it doesn't.
You're setting yourself up for success.
I adapt my environment to fit my lifestyle.
Joana, how do you work the self-care in and your routines in with a family and a business?
Like I said, I have to get up early. I have to get up early and do it
first of all, hold on. You guys see the common denominator is getting up early. Yes. For a lot of people that make a lot of money or that are successful, getting up early gives you a jump on the day. Yeah. If you get up at 4 or 5?
Well, that's when they were in school. Now they're in summer, so they go to sleep till 1 in the morning, so they don't get up till 12. So I get up around 7. 8.
Yeah. But that's good to you. Now you got that me time, huh? Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a little bit easier this summer.
In regards to that self-care, one thing I can say about us, when we're on vacation, self-care is not on vacation. When we go on a trip, we're at the gym. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to sightsee. I want to go down to the casino. I want to go to the beach. She's like, okay, after the gym. Yeah. And it's not just the gym. It's not just the fitness center downstairs in the hotel. No, it's the class. Yeah. We have to go to 24-hour fitness somewhere in the 2 towns over. It doesn't matter where we're at.
It becomes a ritual. Drive. Yeah. Being able to experience a new group of people at a new instructor at a gym that I've never been to, like that's part of the vacation. Like the vacation is being able to go to another gym.
It's that perspective again. You see that? That's the perspective. It's like you have to see the joy in the stuff that is work to other people. What's work to other people has to be fun for you. And I always say that's a key to success. Like if it's work to somebody else, like Photoshop is work to somebody else. I do it in my sleep. Cooking is work to somebody else. I do it in my sleep. So whatever you do should be fun to you, to a certain degree. Joana, do you go to the gym on vacation?
You know what? Not always.
Not always.
My husband likes to do so I'll go with him. But I'm not like I have to go.
Okay.
Like I remember the last time we were in Miami, I think it was 2 years ago. I didn't want to get up. I'm like, let me sleep in, but he went and he motivated me.
You feel like shit if you don't go, and your spouse just gets up and just lay like.
I'm like, I thought you were gonna lay here.
Exactly. Like I don't feel better now. And let's transition to marriage and relationships, because that seems like a team effort, like motivating each other sometimes is a team effort, especially when one person is raised one way and one was raised a different way. How important is that teamwork, Joana, in a marriage? And how does a marriage equate to success?
That's very important.
Right?
Yeah, I don't even know where to start, but man, he's like my biggest motivation. Biggest motivation when I'm down. Just like I was telling him, even today when I came, I'll be very transparent. I had an argument with my oldest daughter. I was in tears. And he was just like sitting there, comforting me and telling me, how much I'm worth it and, how much, I mean to the family. But yeah, it's definitely very important to be there for one another and encourage one another. I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do anything I do without my husband, honestly. Yeah, he's like, I was telling him today, he's like the piece of the household. Like he's our peace. He brings tranquility to the house.
Like almost a physical piece, like an appliance. Like he's a happiness appliance to the household. No, I get it. I get it.
Forward to him coming home because it's like peace, when there's like chaos sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's so many.
Daddy gonna solve all this when he get home. Wait till your daddy get home. Exactly. And sometimes the kids say, wait till daddy gets home.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I think that it takes, I guess, two people focused and not on each other, but on themselves to make a healthy relationship. And seriously, I mean, if somebody's focused on you, how can this be healthy? How can this be happy? And I've been in relationships where the focus was me, and like you're never going to be happy because you're worried about what I'm doing, and vice versa. And I think it's a level of maturity that keeps a marriage healthy and happy. Is that maturity something that you guys always had, or did you develop? You've been married, what do you say, 20 years?
20 years. Yeah, he's 5 years older than me. I feel like I've always felt like he's just more mature than me. Like, so I've always felt like he was just more mature, I've always felt like I had to, in the beginning of our marriage, I feel like I kind of compared myself, where I was like, I want to be a boss like you, you know what I mean? Like, I want to make money like you, because I was just so inspired. But then my true heart is being at home and serving my husband, serving my family, and still doing my business on the side. But my main, focus was like, I love being home. I love being with my kids.
Suzu, how I know I'm setting myself up for this for scary answers, because I don't know what you're gonna say. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say how. That's presumptuous. Does marriage seems like something that helps you become more successful? Is it a tool to your success, or is it something?
A partner.
Yeah.
I don't know if the marriage. I mean, the marriage, yes, because that's like the commitment, and
that's the name of the partnership. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely having a strong partner, like
Does it help?
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, like having somebody like that's as long as they're supportive, and encouraging. But yeah, you definitely helped me in like every aspect, because you're so much about personal development. And, we're very like-minded in that way.
I believe so.
And we don't we hold each other very accountable. But we are really allowed to grow individually. That's something. And I was telling Steve yesterday. I was telling him, I was like, Jason's just good at relationships. Like, he's better at relationships than me. Like, a partnership, for me, because of past relationships, and I brought that into ours and just my own things, And I was saying that you've been so patient and allowed me to grow individually and been there to support me when, like, when I needed, but not, like, tried to control it. Like, this is how we're going to, live. And I try not to do that either, because that was one thing that always drew me to you, was that you knew yourself. Like, you love your autonomy, you love your freedom. And I never wanted to take that, like, and be like, this is how success is going to look, or this is how we're going to grow, And I think that I like traditions, like the conventional relationship. Like, I hate to try to compare my partnership in that way. I try not to, but it's hard not to, especially because other people kind of like, well, they want to kind of know, well, why you guys are doing something different? Like, why are you doing that?
Why don't you live together? Or why don't you this?
Do it the other way? Or happy doing it the other way, like most people do it, Because like when we first got married, we didn't live together.
Exactly.
People are like, well, why? I'm like, well, who says you have to live together right away? But we do now. But yeah, it's huge. Like, and I think that like our success is kind of like we don't have children, and so that's like those are our babies.
The businesses, our passion,
whatever our drives are, whatever our ambitions are, or even hobbies. Like you really nurture my like going to the gym. You never stop me, even though sometimes you're pissed about it.
I'm pissed about going. I'm never pissed about her going. It's about going. Right?
I'm like, you don't have to go.
But
no, it's okay. Yeah. So,
I'm never pissed that I went.
No.
And that's the whole point. I'm never mad that I went. Yeah.
Yeah, but you really allow me to like have the freedom to do everything that makes me happy without telling me how to do it. You just give me support, and like some advice. Because I do come to you for advice. Like I know that I'm looking at something in one way and I cannot see outside. I have like that tunnel vision. I just can't see any other way. And then you always bring new light. And then like maybe I don't like it because I'm like I might be in that mindset. But like there's only one way to do it, But you always give great insight. So that's something that always makes me better.
Well, thank you.
You're
welcome. I want to say like us, like personally, like I've grown a lot and matured a lot before I even met you. Like we met in our late 30s, So I probably did all the mistake making that I wanted to do. I'm not gonna say I was done yet, but but I was at the point where I'm trying to figure it out, always trying to be better and do better. And obviously you at the same point of your life was all in a personal development.
Yeah.
Joana, at 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like meaning I want to make this point, like we were pretty much healed, fixed, people when we got together, Yeah. But 20 years ago, that maybe in your 20s, I don't know if we're all like the same age. I'm trying not to date nobody, all right? You're like 20 something when you got married?
Yeah, 21. Okay.
How did that development, like, I don't know, I could be wrong. Were you at your most mature at your 20? You know what I'm saying? Were you at your best? I was at my best, I think, when I met her. To the point. I'm getting better every day, but I think I was at a very good place. At 20, I wouldn't have been. I don't know if a marriage would have lasted with such a perfect person if I'd have got married at 20, because I would have been the problem. Even if she was all healed and fixed and great, I know I would have been a problem. Still, just thinking about some things that I would have thought and would have said in certain situations, I know I would have been a problem. So you being married 20 years, did you mature during the relationship? How did that work? Did both of you mature during the relationship? Did you guys grow together? Because sometimes, like I always say, you got to be all right with yourself to find that person.
Yeah.
But some lucky folks find each other in high school sweethearts. They're celebrating 50, 60 years of marriage, So how did that work? Were you a complete person and he was a complete person?
At all. We were both like, oh my God, we were both so broken. Oh my God!
Wow.
It's not until I think in our 10-year of marriage where we both decided, you know what, we need to work on ourselves if we want to make this marriage work. Because before it was always like pointing fingers. You're wrong, I'm wrong. It's your fault. It's on.
Yeah.
And once we took accountability and said, no, we need to work on ourselves if we really love ourselves, and then we come together. And I think that's where it changed. But we were really broken. I'll be honest, I had a lot of issues, and that's why I started my brand, like Toxica, because a lot of people consider Hispanic women toxic, jealous, insecure. I was all of that. I was jealous, I was insecure. I watched my dad be unfaithful to my mom, so it brought in like daddy issues. I couldn't trust men, So I put my husband through a lot, even though he never gave me a reason to, And I'm just so glad that he stayed through it all, through it all. But it was definitely hard. It took a lot of work. We had to do therapy, We had to do our own help, our own personal development. He's like, that's the only way we'll stay and we'll make it work. And so far, we've had a lot of ups and downs, but we're really like, how do I say, just positive, that we're just like, we're gonna break generational curses. We're gonna do this for our kids, for our families. Our kids all struggle, but they're gonna see us, be together and as a team and get through this and heal. And so, that's what we're working on. But we definitely were not healed. You're right. We had to do it together.
When you guys hit those trials and tribulations, what made you say this is worth working on, or this is worth getting better for, so we can be together? Because I think that a lot of people, once they hit that point of that trial and tribulation, it's like, are we supposed to even be together? Like you say you have issues, like sometimes, like maybe I don't deserve you, and we can get into those kind of feelings. Yeah. So, well, how did you overcome that to still be together?
Well, I feel like
Wait to the microphone. We want to hear this. We want to hear this.
I don't even think it's on, is it?
No, it is. It is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was completely going to say. What was I going to say? No, I just always believed like I just made a commitment. I made a covenant to marry my husband, you know, so any time it got hard, I'm like, and then my parents were married 20 years and they divorced after 20 years. So I'm like, oh my God, you guys like fought for 20 years and then just kind of gave up. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like I've never been one to give up on something, especially because I loved him so much. I knew his heart, you know, and he tells me the same thing. I know your heart and like you're willing to work on things. If you weren't, then I probably wouldn't be here, but you're willing to acknowledge, you know, like the things and work on them. And so that's why like we're still here. But I was going to say a lot of people, glamorize like marriage, like it's supposed to be like all you know roses and stuff, and it's not. I even heard it was so inspiring to hear Michelle Obama when she said, I hated my husband for 10 years, like I just didn't like him. Like it's okay not to like someone. It's okay to not, you know what I mean, as long as you're there, you know, you guys are working it out. But it's like people are like, oh, you always have to be happy, or you know, on Instagram everything is like, it looks so nice. It's not like that. We have struggles. Me and him like didn't like each other, you know. We wanted to leave, but we didn't. Like we worked it out, you know, and that's what
made it worth it. What made it worth it?
Just having my family together. You know, just having because we have so many kids. It's just like having my family together and knowing that we do love each other. Like I'll be honest, a couple months ago, like we just had enough of each other. We're like, oh my God, like we can't stand each other. You know, everything we were saying is like, and we took a little break. We took a little break. We took like a month and a half break. You know, we're like, okay, let's just take a little break. You know, you go here, I go here. We realized that we missed each other, that we loved each other. Sometimes we think it's, you know, greener on the other side.
Yeah.
It's just like we just needed that time to say, you know what, I love you, I miss you, and I want you to come home. You know, so we're still here.
That's amazing.
Suzu.
Yeah.
Without like the motivation of children and family, what makes you strive to be successful? Like, what is your why if it's not kids and family?
I think actually it was people I'm around. My influences, like I have a strong female role model from my mother, my sisters. So some of it's like wanting to make them proud, or your family. You always want to make your family proud. Like I don't think you ever outgrow that, you know? And also, it's now kind of evolved, and I kind of recently made the connection that because of my work, it actually, because I think, or this is what I thought anyway growing up, I don't know if, because I'm not a parent, but you have children maybe because of the love between two people, but really what it does is that makes you always have to be a better person. You know? And so that's kind of like, I don't have those that motivation, but I realized like working with the clients, like I always have to be my best self. Or at least try to.
Yeah.
You know, because it's always like,
those are your children.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
There's a saying, right, in AA, it's attraction, not promotion. So what I attract and what they see, the way that I live, you know, will tell them and inspire them more than telling them what they need to do. You know. So now it's turned into that's motivation for me to want to be always a better person, because I have to show them that there's hope. That's kind of like, I think, why I would want to continue to stay in the field, even if it was like, because I'm, you know, eventually maybe want to do like instructing, you know, for like group fitness classes, you know, but that's always, it's kind of like the same thing. You're kind of somewhat in the spotlight. You know that people are kind of looking at you.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you know, like, how does she live? Like, is she who she says she is?
Yeah. And you're trying to be.
Yeah.
Since you are in the field of recovery, you had your own journey of recovery. What was that turning point for you? Because like I said, I wanted to show that people have different paths, different upbringings, different histories, but it doesn't determine your future. When did you decide that your past wasn't going to be your future? And what helped you make that decision?
Like my past wasn't gonna define me.
Yeah, like that, like even okay. I was using yesterday. I wasn't sober yesterday. Like I want to be sober tomorrow.
It wasn't like maybe one specific moment, but it began to change. Obviously, I went into treatment and went in with a little bit of hope. Really didn't know if I was going to be able to stay clean because I hadn't tried it, and I thought it was something that I lacked morally. You know, like I kind of, after a while, you start to think like, well, why can't I stop this? Like maybe I'm just a bad person.
Yeah, like it's nothing that I can get help for.
Yeah, like I should have had the power to do it on my own if I was going to do it. And then like once you actually start to understand like, oh, that's why it's called addiction. You don't have control over it. Yeah. Like, and it kind of takes away some of that shame and guilt, you know, when you look at it like it's a medical condition, you know. And even when I first went into treatment, I was like, disease, I don't know, like we're choosing.
I want to get high.
Choosing this lifestyle, that's just a cop out, like you know. But when I started like looking at all the evidence in my past, I'm like, no, I didn't want. There was a point a long time ago, like this stopped being fun. I don't want to do this anymore. Why can't I stop? You know? And so going into treatment, I really didn't, like my past did define me a lot. And after a while, I started to think like, you know what, maybe I can change. Maybe I can heal, you know? And so that's kind of when I decided like, maybe the hope kind of grew. A little bit of hope inside me, you know. You have to really, really, really nurture it at first, you know. When you think that you want to change, that's like the first step, and then you think you can, and then you start to change your behaviors, and that helps to give you more evidence, it gives you more proof. And so it was like kind of that transition. Of having to really like nurture the behaviors, the personality that you want to become. Then it starts to change the belief that you have about yourself. So that was like an ongoing, kind of an ongoing action, you know. But that's really like I would say, probably within the first year, maybe that a lot of that work changed, you know, a lot of that personality changed, and then it's just been like maintenance after that.
Maintaining that mentality. One thing you said that I think is very important, and I wanted to touch on is I think part of being a boss is identifying when you don't have control. You know, because I think a lot of people have this mentality or mindset like, if I'm a boss, I'm in control. I know everything. I'm strong. I'm this. But I think part of really being a boss, being a real boss, is being honest with yourself and learning how to delegate. And sometimes you have to delegate your own thinking. You have to like, you know what, I can't make good enough decisions. So I have to let this person make it, you know, and sometimes that could be with your health, that could be with your nutrition, that could be with some habits. Like, so I appreciate that you touched on that, because understanding when you don't have power and giving that power up. Like, you know what, I'm not going to make this decision. I'm going to check myself into where they say when I can go, when I, you know, because I know I need that structure. And I think that's like one of the bossest things you can do is to give up that power to someone who knows better. Like, for example, like finances. You know, I know you're better with money than I am. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with relinquishing power of finances to you. You know what I'm saying? And anything you can do better, I would let you do. And I think that's what we have to understand as people that want to be successful, is that we don't have to be the best at everything. But we have to know how to give up control and power to those that are better than us to kind of guide us. And then we can get better. And then we can take that power back and that control back. But we have to gain that knowledge from somewhere, because we're like, obviously we don't always have it. You know, we don't always have the right answer. We have to learn from somewhere. And I just appreciate that. That's wonderful. Okay, moving on. What advice, and we're getting to the advice section, you know, what advice would you have for someone that wants to change or wants to start doing better? Like you say, it's that quick mindset. Like, what's that first step that you would tell them? Like, what would you tell them to go to do? Like, they want to do better, but they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. They don't know what talent to pursue. They don't know what passion. You know, they don't see some of their talents as talent. So where should they start?
Oh, well, I think definitely somewhat, surrounding your surrounding yourself with people that are also like-minded. So if you're wanting to change, you're wanting to be better, grow better, learn more about yourself, having people around you that are also like-minded is going to help.
Meaning want that same thing for themselves.
If you're wanting to change and grow, but everybody around you is just happy where they're at, like, you're just going to be a lot less likely to achieve it, to like aspire towards it.
Support system.
Yeah, good support system.
Put yourself in rooms like this.
Joana, who is your support system?
My husband, and I was telling her that I love watching like a lot of podcasts. Like I'm always watching Jay Chetty or Ed Milet, and I'm just always like, while I'm working out or at home cleaning, I'm constantly listening to, just positive things, because I did grow up in a very negative environment, so I constantly have to bring myself back, just think positive, and think good thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah.
I think podcasts are so powerful. Not because I have one and I want you to listen and watch Life of a Boss, the podcast. Not because of that. But you know what? I used to, we go on a long drive. Yeah. I used to just love listening to music the whole way. Yeah. The whole way. When I discovered podcasts, I discovered it as research to doing this podcast. Well, my first one. And when I'm talking about research, I mean not what they were talking about, but really where do the ads go? What does the host say? Does he introduce himself? Does he have an intro play? That the technical parts of it. And while I was listening to the technical parts, and because I want to do personal development, I looked up personal development podcasts and listened to them. I started listening to them. And I'm not talking about the technical parts anymore. I was listening to what they were saying, and then a light just hit me. Okay, people do need this stuff. This is good stuff. And what hit me was, growing up, I used to see infomercials with Tony Robbins and even Richard Simmons and all these people that were they were influencers before there was influencers. I never knew what they really did. You telling people how they should make better. I'm telling you to be a good person. I'm telling you to stop it. These are stuff that people should. I did not know the value of telling people what they should already know. And then I realized I need to know this stuff. And not that I need to know it, but I need to be constantly reminded. I need to be around people who talk about positive stuff all the time. I need to be around people that talk about business and education and self-educating and health. And I need this because I need that reinforcement all the time. All the time. I can't just know I should eat better and then go to the smorgasbord every night. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. I got to be around people who let's go to the gym. Now let's go to Jamba Juice. Now let's go back to the gym. I need to hang around some of these people sometimes. And that's what podcast did. It put me in a space where I needed to be whenever I needed to be there. And I appreciate that so much. And I understand now why Tony Robbins is the man. I understand why Eric Thomas is the man. Peter Voog is the man. Gary Vee. These people are celebrities to celebrities. Other people who aren't trying to be better, you don't know these folks. You wouldn't know Gary Vee. You wouldn't know Tony Robbins. You wouldn't know these people. But people that have money, got it, that are trying to get more, they know these folks because that's who wants to get better. People are attracted to these people because they want to do better, and they're totally just giving you game. That's all they do now. And podcast did that for me. So I became very appreciative of all the information that a lot of you put out there. You also, being an influencer, all you talk about is positive stuff. If it's not athletics, it's nutrition. If it's not nutrition, it's mindset. If it's not mindset, it's relationships. So it's constantly reinforces something like this. I don't just do this for other people. I do this for me. I do this because if I know I'm talking about this, I better do it after I hit record again and cut this off. I better be eating right. I better be trying to get to the gym. I better be trying to create positive relationships. I better be trying to servicing my wife. And I better try to do all this stuff I'm talking about. So it kind of helps me reinforce.
Yes.
What do you do when you don't want to do it? What when you want to quit? When you do you ever have the point where you want to quit? Suzu, do you ever have a point where you're done with?
No, but if
think it's like if I start to maybe be complacent or things start to feel stale, like I'm not feeling so alive like it did at one point, then
what do you
have
do?
to kind of reassess and figure out like what's behind it?
Yeah.
What's the source of it? You know, like I liked it at one point, and if it's changed, like, is it that, you know, am I pushing too hard? Do I need to give myself a break? Do I need to like change it up? Let it, you know, maybe take on a different shape or form? Do I need to involve new people? You know, like, or am I just focused on the effect or the goal and I'm not enjoying the process? Because that's usually what it is when I get too focused on the outcome rather than, you know, what I'm actually putting into it in that process, the journey, then I'm not in the moment. And then I usually will, like, the joy will be taken from it.
I think it's so important to be in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just like what you said a while ago is appreciation. And I'm glad you said that because I wanted to touch on the appreciation part. For a long time, I didn't appreciate appreciation.
Oh, really?
No, seriously. Recently, recently, that's what I was about to say. I saw appreciation as a superpower.
Yeah.
Like, because when things are bad, you know what I'm saying? And then you think about things like running water, air conditioning, you know, like, it's just like, and I've been in, like, times in my life where I didn't have air conditioning. Might have not have had running water. Might have not have had gas in my car. Might have not have had something to eat. And when I think of, like, those times compared to now, like, I can only be happy. I can only be energetic. I can only be grateful. I can only preach and talk positivity because I can appreciate where I'm at. I can appreciate where I'm at. And I think that all those times I didn't appreciate it wasn't a superpower. Like it didn't help me. When I didn't appreciate appreciation, I was getting nothing from it. And so I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything to be appreciative, you know? So I think that once we understand or once we're able to look at the things that we have access to, the things that service us, we can not just appreciate those things, but we could utilize those things for what somebody else would do with them if they didn't have it and they looking at us. What would I do if I was him?
Yeah.
So sometimes I can look at, woe is me, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. But then when I think about like somebody who wants to be me, and I know like people want to be me for whatever reason, sometimes I don't know why they would. But then that makes me think, like, why would they? And then I'm like, well, maybe he wants to do this. Maybe if he was me, he could do this. And then it makes me want to do it. Like if he was me and he would do this to make money or be successful, then I need to be doing this, you know? So that's why I say it's a superpower, because it allows you to utilize the stuff you have access to that you take for granted any other way. So I definitely appreciate the point you made on appreciation, on how powerful it is, because I think just that one little piece right there is a big tool to make you successful. Joana, what advice do you have for parents who want to pursue a dream, a craft, a passion, but maybe use kids as a cop-out? Maybe use, like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. Man, these kids need food. I got 10 kids. I got 4 kids. You got 10. You know what I'm saying? So someone that says, I got 4 kids, or someone that might have 11. You know what I'm saying? Well, what could you tell them? Like, no, you can do this, or this is how you do this. What would you say to them?
I would just say, live the life you want your kids to live. You know, like, just because they're watching you. It's not the advice you give them; it's what they're seeing every day. You know, like they see both their parents get up every day and like do what they love and pursue their dreams. You know, and try to work things out and get help if they don't, know how to figure it out. So just, just really like living it out. Living it out for your kids and being real. Like, that's what I was telling my husband earlier. Like, some parents say, like, oh, we want to hide, we want to protect our kids. We don't want them to go through anything. But how are they supposed to know how to survive when they go through
Exactly. Yeah, we're not preparing them. Yeah.
Not preparing them. They're not seeing how to work things out or how to, figure stuff on their own or how to create something if there's nothing there. Like, there was we went through some hard times where we had nothing to eat. That's when I was most creative. I would come up with most creative meals. I would put eggs in my top ramen. The kids were like, ooh. I remember one night, like, we had no lights. And it was all the kids. I remember we sat and there was, like, candles everywhere. And we were sitting there. we had the best time of our life. We were telling stories.
Yeah.
And the kids didn't know that.
Yeah.
But me and my husband knew that. And now we look back, we're like, oh my God, we're so blessed. We've come so far, but
that appreciation again, huh?
Those moments
Yeah.
where you're just like, whoa, like I was raised in a family where my dad, he wanted to always have the best. So we lived in the best, like the biggest houses in Pasadena. He had like a landscaping business, right? And he always wanted to have like the best. And he had me in like private school. So then when I married my husband, like it was kind of hard for me because I didn't know struggle too much. You know what I mean? So the lights were turning off. I'm like, so like, I was complaining, like, like, no, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna be okay. But for me, it was like not normal. You know? Like we did get through it, and there was times where it was just like it was hard, but we got through it.
How important is it that you two have completely different upbringings?
Oh, it's very important because I feel that we have the same. Like I say, if he was like crazy like me, I don't think we would have made it. You know?
Yeah.
I always tell him like he has that calm spirit, like that. You know, like okay, don't think with your emotions. You know, relax. Don't make decisions now. You know, like he's like I said, he was my peace, and I don't. Yeah, if we were the same, I feel like this wouldn't have worked out.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Very different upbringings.
Oh, absolutely.
Jason and I
think it's very complimentary. You know, like I was telling Steve the other day, like how I couldn't deal with somebody like me. You know, I know seriously, I couldn't. I think it would be depressing to be with somebody who's been through some of the stuff I did, because it's almost like because that person wouldn't see some of the things that Suzu has brought me to. Like one thing I say, like recently, that Suzu kind of helped like develop in me is like that mindset to stop living in survival mode. Because I like everything was like scarce for me growing up. We didn't have anything. We ate at a trash cans. You know that we would dumpster diving behind grocery stores. You know, we would do things like that. Get brown bags from churches and stuff like that. So I grew up with this like I gotta have it, and any way to get over, I'm trying to get over. If I ain't gotta pay that, I'm not trying to pay it. If I can walk out with this, every little way. And it wasn't just being like a criminal. It was like I'm trying to preserve every dollar and everything. Man, I might have to pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? I might have to eat them all too. So it's like all this little stuff, and like her is like she didn't worry about any of those little things, you know what I'm saying? Like she tips, I don't tip. Like it's like hold on, she don't even tip, and I be wondering, get all that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Hold on, $5 is enough. Me, $5 was a tip for anything. I don't care if we got my hair cut, if we had at a restaurant, $5, and that's good for me. That's good for me. Otherwise, the tip is whatever that change was to that next 10. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I see the value in not living in survival mode. I see the value in paying the whole year insurance at the same time. And said, you know what, I can get by with 1 month, and then I'll make the money back. So it's just like not living in that survival mode taught me there's a whole reality outside of there's possibilities that I would never get to if I stayed in that survival mode. If I stayed in that scrounging, bottom feeding, gutter type mentality, and that was necessary when it was necessary. Right. But I'm not there anymore, and to bring that into the life I'm trying to live, it's not possible. Right. You know, and I think that's what she gave me. She showed me what's possible outside of survival mode, because me, I'm thinking like no matter how much money I got, I'm still gotta be, you know, I still gotta hold on. Somebody might come take all this away. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Rock, he said, man, I keep a bag packed because in case a real owner comes to this house, like this is too much for me. And sometimes I feel that way, like man, it all become crashing down. But when you think like that, you don't think forward. Yeah. When you think trying to protect and I don't want this, you know what I'm talking? I don't want nothing to happen to none of this. You're not reaching for anything else. And I think that's what Susie did for me. It helped me reach for other stuff, because now I'm not worried about holding on and protecting everything I have. Right. I'm just living in the moment. I have it now, and I can go get more tomorrow. And that was the mindset that kind of helped me. So I love the complimentary relationship that we have. I love that she's very goody-goody. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I love that because it's not what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say what I was used to is right if everything's working for her and her family. You know what I'm saying? Serious. Like I see the whole family's fine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing that she can tell me that I can. You're wrong. You're supposed to struggle. It just doesn't work that way because they have the receipts. Yeah. Like this is why you live like this. This is the results of living like this. Yeah. And I think like I started from so far behind. Just like you have to go through zero to get back to a positive. When you start from a negative. You have to not be afraid to go through zero. You gotta because you might build it all up negatively. You know, I might have built this empire with bad money and hustle money and all this, and I might be afraid to lose it all to go legit. Yeah. But you have to go through zero. You have to be willing to go through zero if you're trying to get to a positive, and that's what I understand with this relationship. That's what it taught me. Like really be willing, not just say it because I could say it, but then when you're looking at zero coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know anymore. And that's what I had to deal with. I had to embrace not having nothing and starting basically from the ground up, but the right way. Mm-hmm. Like, if you build a house on, like, quicksand, it's going to fall down eventually. So why not just tear it down, go over there and build on something solid? Yeah. And I love that. And I appreciate you for helping me become that. Thank you. So, final thoughts. Suzu, what are your final thoughts on success, relationships, personal development, anything like that?
I guess just how I live and think of myself and treat myself is being very kind, being very compassionate, showing a lot of self-love, being accepting, and just not being so rigid. Like not being so hard, you know, not thinking it has to be done one way, trying to be flexible, you know, but definitely always living with a lot of self-love and compassion, you know, because it's, sometimes I think, you know, you think you want to be hard on yourself, like, you know, to get yourself to that next level.
Yeah, like you have to be. Like if I'm not hard on myself, it's not going to work out.
And really, I feel like it's actually the opposite that's true. And being able to show yourself compassion and acceptance, and whether, you know, you make mistakes, because that's how you learn about yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't be perfect. You're not going to learn about yourself, you know, if you're always trying, you know, to be perfect. Yeah, just a lot of compassion.
Joanna, final thoughts on personal development, relationship, self-love, anything like that. What are your final thoughts?
I was just going to say what you mentioned earlier about just being in the present moment. Like I told you 2 months ago, like I always do like a yearly detox for a month. I'll get off social media.
Oh, wow.
And it was kind of tough because I'm like, I run my business through social media, you know? Yeah. But I was like, no, I'm going to trust God. I'm going to do this, you know? And I feel like God brought me more, like, he provided in other ways, but it was more of like taking care of myself and being present with my family. You know? And when I noticed like I was just a little out of control, I'm like, no, I got to do whatever it takes. And like social media can be very disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
And like not real at times. And so I'm just like, I got to get off of that and just focus on me. And it was so much needed. It was so needed. So that's an advice I would give, to do what you got to do to get yourself, you know, right, or get yourself back in the present moment, in reality, you know.
Able to reset.
That's good.
Reset.
And it helps, does it?
Yeah, it helped a lot. I mean, I feel like I always come back stronger every time I go. And I'm like, I'm going to take another one, you know. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, I didn't miss out on anything.
I'm closing accounts now. I'm deleting my Facebook now. But so how do you suggest that for anybody? Like, cause some people just like me, like, I run a business and I really don't pay for advertising. So social media is how I sell my products. Like, would you suggest anybody take that social media detox?
No, if not, if you're like totally dependent on it, I wouldn't do that. But I was just saying, like, for me, because my husband is the sole provider. So I am able to say, you know what, and let me do it, you know, because it is kind of driving me crazy right now, sitting there scrolling.
It's good. It's consuming.
Business, you know, because we're supposed to just post and walk away, keep creating. But get stuck, you know.
Sometimes,
like, I cannot do that.
Like you're trying to find the trend, the hype. Like, what am I doing? What am I missing? What's hot? Like what's the recipe? Especially like if you're an influencer and you're really trying to like create valuable content, you got to do some kind of research, you know. So you can get caught in these rabbit holes, like I do. Like you're like, okay, I'll get caught in like funny story. my niece, she was like 9 at the time.
Yeah.
And this is like when TikTok first became like a real thing. And my niece was 9 on TikTok.
Right.
And videos are seconds long, like on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she's there just watching videos. I'm looking at her, look at the videos, like, what are you watching? And she's like, I don't know, just funny stuff. And I'm not getting, like, why the hell would you spend 2 hours watching 3-second videos? Like, I didn't get it. Until, like, recently, I catch myself. and it's different subject matter, but it's the same concept. Yeah. It was something that was interesting to me. Exactly. That I'm looking at hacks, best websites to go to, cooking, business stuff, and I'm just 3-second videos, 10-second videos. But it's those rabbit holes, though. It's like once you understand, then you kind of gotta. You fall into it. Like, this is what's interesting. This is why it's valuable. And that's why I think, like, it's so important for entrepreneurs or just anybody to use social media in a way that benefits them. Because, social media it's like anything else. It can be like your phone. You can use it to talk nonsense to people that don't even care about you all day, or you can use it to close business deals, look up stuff. And so it's a tool that can be just as damaging as it can be good, So I think that we all have to learn to use it responsibly and use it in a way that benefits us. Like, it's here to serve us. And I think that not everybody sees it that way. Somebody sees it as entertainment, and I think it's like that boss mindset is to look at it from an opportunity standpoint. What opportunity is here? So
like I tell my kids, I'm like, are you going to sit there and watch other people create, or are you going
to create? Yeah.
Like one of my daughters, I think she has like 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow.
She does edits for like wrestling, but she doesn't show her face at all. It's all edits of like, wrestling. And even if I tell people, she doesn't like it, so I hope she doesn't watch this. But she doesn't
wow.
She's like, I don't want.
You're gonna cost me followers,
right? No, she's like, don't tell anybody about it. Like it's amazing the power I told her behind it. You're not even showing your face.
Exactly.
And all these people are following.
She
edits all of this, and she's so like talented. But I always tell them, like, you put your phone down, and it seems like you get so creative. So sometimes I'm like, okay, it's time to put phones up, guys.
Yeah.
Caught up in them, and I notice they get more creative. They start painting, they start creating. I'm like, that's what it is. Share that stuff. Instead of looking at other people's like life. Yeah. You get busy creating what you want.
Absolutely. How can people find your products, your social media, your following? How can people get connected with Altogether Lovely?
Yeah, it's altogether. It's a2glfashions.com. That's my site. I sell my activewear, and then on social media, it's Joana Rudolph on all social media.
Okay. Check her out. Check out Altogether Lovely. Check out everything they got going on. And I just want to say that it's already hard to get like one of these women in here, break them away from their routines and busy schedules and all that. But to get both of them here, I couldn't get 3. You see what I'm saying? It was hard. Like I said, it's damn near impossible. But I appreciate both of you for coming, for being here. Like I said, it's so valuable. The game that you give the audience, me, and what we walk away with is so valuable, and I appreciate it, and I love you both for what you guys do for yourselves and for others.
Thank you. This was fun.
Oh, I'm glad. You had a lot of fun. You're good at this.
I was going to say you should have a boss men like panel.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will. But who wants to see a bunch of men? But I was thinking that. But I had to start somewhere. Because what I was going to do, I wanted to start far and bring it back to what was easy. I think it was going to be easy to get a bunch of brothers who have businesses. But I wanted to start with the women. And after the women, I wanted to have the boss youth. Because I definitely have some youngsters, some mentees. I have my nephew, like this. They're the future, and they are going to surpass everything we do. And I think that we can learn a lot from them. I think by watching them, by getting in their heads, we can help our businesses move forward. And it's that perspective and that other point of view that I think is very valuable. So I definitely wanted to do the youth after this. They're harder to work with because I got to work with parents' schedules, children. So, if you think it's hard getting 3 women here, man, try to get 3 kids with managers and parents and all that. But this is so valuable because of not what I do, but because the game that people bring. All my guests, all of you have been on the show before, and It was valuable when you were there. It's valuable now, and I just appreciate the perspective. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Privilege.
And that is our special today. Everybody check out lifeofaboss.net. Check out Altogether Lovely. My wife has no products. So you don't have to check her out. But she is on social media. If you got questions, she'll answer them. You know, she's very...
I'm not on social media.
No. She has accounts.
I have the app.
She has accounts.
That's a good thing.
I can't do it.
Yeah, but she totally,
So
she's...
hard. I try to get on there and I just can't.
She tried to get on social media to help me. She
That's the only
created
time
accounts to help me push and promote. Yeah, but she's totally off. Yeah, but send her a message. Send her an email. Get on her social media and send her an email. If you need help with recovery, if you need help with addiction, she got answers for you. She has resources. She can point you in the right direction. But once again, thank you, ladies, and I appreciate having you here.
All right, thank you.
Right. I love all of y'all. Remember, success is indeed a lifestyle. Right. Peace.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason, as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hardway Hardin. Thank you. And to never forget that success is a lifestyle.